Hello and welcome to Pints and Quarts, a show presented by Craft Beer Nation. Today is June 26th of 2015. We don't often stray from our Thursday night time slot, but tonight we're making a special arrangement. Our guest is Sam Cruz. Sam is co-owner and head brewer at Against the Grain Brewery. He is joining us tonight from Craft and Draft in Columbia, South Carolina. It's a bottle shop tap room. We will get to why in just a few minutes, but for now, get your beer into a glass and get comfortable. This little break is a perfect time to click subscribe on our YouTube, Stitcher, or iTunes channels.
Time now for a look back at the last week in the craft beer industry. Pour a cold one and sit back for an all-new episode of Pints and Quarts, presented by Craft Beer Nation.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in this week, everyone. We're glad to have Sam on the show. Sam, like I said, is from Against the Grain. He's sitting at Craft and Draft in Columbia. Got Alan Huerta on camera there with him. Alan, how are you tonight? First.
Hey, things are going pretty good. Just drove down here to get some Against the Grain beers and meet Sam.
All right. It's a Sam party. It sounds like there. There's a football game on too, but I think they're more excited to meet Sam. Got Randy Gill, myself, Matt Miller here. But Sam, how are you? Thanks for joining us tonight.
I'm good. Thanks for having me out, I guess, on this. It's really fun here at Craft and Draft. There's a lot of people drinking beers, a lot of people drinking Against the Grain beers, and that's a good thing.
So what are you pouring tonight there?
Tonight we have Harlem Globetrotter. Turn Safe Search off and Google frauding. It's a Lent beer, just so you know. Dutch, very much similar to a Maibach. We have 70K on. It is a big, badass Imperial Stout. It's a milk stout also. It's barrel aged. 35K, its little brother. None of those things. Milk stout. And then what's the other one? Jockstrap. Belgian triple aged on oak.
Belgian triple on oak.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's start with where you guys began, how you got involved with it, where the ideas came from, and when you started to make the beer.
Well, my partners and I are all brewers. We were actually born out of some essentially dissatisfaction with status quo in Louisville beer, that being Louisville, Kentucky. We just realized at a certain point in our careers, we were brewers at other breweries, that it was time to bring a new wave of brewing into Louisville. And I kind of like to think that maybe we're a part of the third wave of brewers, you know. Not the guys in the 90s that started, not the early guys like Sam Calgione and Greg Cook, but after that, a third wave. And we wanted to bring really kind of like fresh new ideas, move away from a status quo, you know, standard lineup of brown ale, pale ale, and all that bullshit. But really kind of go to like experimental things, work with different flavors, you know, brew extreme beers, but then also revisit classic styles and try to make them perfect. You know, we have all of the ingredients and all of the technology we need to do that now.
When I was at your brewery, I saw some construction going on. Were you guys expanding, or was that something unrelated?
No, that was unrelated to us. That's a distillery going in across the street. It's called Angels.
Oh, they make some good bourbon.
They do, yeah.
So that means that
they make some.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I was about to say you're going to be getting some good barrels here pretty soon, huh?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's where we get our barrels.
So Sam, let me you know, the fact that you said that you guys wanted to do something different, I guess that means that we ask this question a lot. Your identity as a brewery is not relegated to anything specific, I guess, right?
No. Well, no specific beer, no specific style. We hang our hat on quality and being consistent with producing quality beer, because everybody deserves that.
Yeah, and there's one thing I think is interesting too. A few years ago, your beers were like kind of, you know, you brewed a beer, it was good. You pretty much brewed a beer, moved on. If there's one you really liked, you would bring it back. I'm wondering, recently, how's that changing? Or like, is there some beers that you're kind of trying to make into core beers now? Or
we have decided on what you would say are core beers. They're only core beers in so long as we're brewing them. We have no multi-year commitment to them, but we're also investing in packaging and so on for those things. We felt like we were really happy with those beers. We felt like we had reached a point that they were worth packaging in that manner. And so we've invested in packaging material. The machines that actually do that are all really frankly, state of the art for what we do. We're canning beer now. And then in addition to that, um, we just feel like that's what's right for now as far as the ingredients go. But man, this is an agricultural product. When the world changes, we're going to change.
So
well, you brought up. I'm sorry, Randy. Go ahead.
Is there any chance of Bo and Luke coming back? Because that's one of the beers that I hear people whenever you talk about against the grain, they talk about that beer and how it's always, man, I wish I could get that. So is there a chance? Is that regularly produced, or is that a one-time shot that you may have to revisit?
It's once a year, honestly.
Okay.
We tie up barrels for 3 months to produce that beer, and again, it's all about producing beer for everybody. We want to make sure that everyone's getting good beer. I don't think there's any reason why when somebody goes to the store or to the bar that they shouldn't get exactly what they want or the best that they can. So, we don't want to tie up our assets as much as we, I guess, have to for something like that, but we do produce it once a year, and we've just built a second brewery, so we'll produce more per batch, but it's still once a year.
So where is the second brewery?
It's about 20 blocks from our original spot.
Okay.
And we bought a warehouse. It's a 25,000 square foot warehouse. We put a Sprinkman. Sprinkman is all American made. A Sprinkman brewery in there. It's 30 barrels. We have 60 barrel fermenters, 60 barrel bright tanks, centrifuge, and a Palmer canning line, which is also American made as well. Very dedicated to this place we are.
When did you start pumping beer there?
We launched production in February of this year. We really have hit a stride in the last month.
So tell me what were your production numbers from last year total, and then what are you forecasting to grow to this year?
Our last year for 2014 we did about 2,000 barrels. 1,600 of that came out of our pub production facility at Slugger Field, and then 400 came out of contract production in Maryland. We have since halted that production, namely because they can't do it. It's Pub Dog Brewery in Baltimore. It's an amazing brewery, but they've got their brands to tend to. And then also we have our new brewery, so we can handle a lot more.
Where do you think you'll grow to this year with hitting your stride here in the summer?
I'd say about 5,000.
Yeah, and how many markets does that allow you to be in? I mean, you're there in South Carolina.
We're in the 12% imports blanket or umbrella, I guess. So we have access to 35 states.
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
That's nice.
You talked a little bit earlier about packaging and investing in packaging,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean the obvious questions I gotta go there is you guys get some attention for your marketing.
Yeah.
What's your source of inspiration from there, and do you have to have good lawyers on staff to handle?
One of us is an attorney, not me. He's an attorney that turned into a brewer. He actually, while in law school, decided he didn't want to go on through with it. His name's Adam Watson. And he carried on with law school, but decided that he was going to pursue brewing. And we all brewed together, and instead of going on, and he did pass the bar and all that too, but instead of going on and practicing law, he decided that he would brew. So he was actually one of our brewers. But does he have anything to do with these labels? No. That's ultimately that's myself and our artist. And do we need an attorney? No, because it turns out that the United States government has one hell of a sense of humor.
Because Sam, you know what, man? When I think it was Brown Note. When Brown Note came out, I remember reading articles and people were saying how like they were kind of disgusted by it, and I'm like, you do realize like there's no doo-doo in this beer, right? I mean, it's just the design on the can. Like I think people get a little sensitive about that stuff. You find that often?
Oh my God, do I? And I love it, honestly. Um, it's very important that beer is fun, and if it means we have to ruffle some feathers, then so be it.
Yeah.
But that
There's been
said, I
quite
mean,
other few names that of some of your beers that just kind of pushing the line there, but they end up being really good. What's some of your favorite ones?
I'm sorry, what was that?
What's some of your favorite names beers come up with? Maybe the story behind it also.
Honestly, I'd have to say my favorite beer names are not necessarily the most like crass or what I call the low-hanging fruit. I like clever, and some are low-hanging fruit and some are clever. My most recent favorite would have to be Vidal Sassoon. It never made it into distribution, but I'm a child of the 90s, and Vidal Sassoon is a play on the brand at the time was Vidal Sassoon, which was shampoo, and the tagline is, "If you don't drink good, we don't drink good." I thought it was hilarious.
you know the funny thing about, I mean, although your labels are crazy, your tap room is actually neat and beautiful. I mean, that place is amazing with all the, the fermenters on the top there. It's kind of a fun play on your labels, but your tap room is not crazy per se, I should say.
Yeah.
And going off of Gil's point, your official your official whole name is Against the Grain Brewery and Smokehouse, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was that the concept from the very beginning, or did you start as a brewery and then you added the Smokehouse later?
It started as we never intended on distributing beer. It just kind of happened on accident. No, we are a smokehouse. We have a smoker and actually several smokers. And we were really dedicated to servicing our local market, but we were finding that we had excess product and excess capacity in the beginning, because we're new and nobody knew about us. So we had the space, and so we started brewing beers for other breweries throughout the U.S., kind of as a way to fill the capacity, and tacked on some of our own brands when we would ship out to distributors, and that kind of turned into, well, we want everything that you produce, and then it turned into, we want as much as we can get, we want to make your regular brand, and the next thing you know, we're distributing beer at a tremendous pace, and it's really worked out. So we still have
What was the turning point for you? Has it been just rapid growth along with the market, or did things just blow up when you won a medal or something? Or
the turning point was when we sent a pallet of beer out of ours with another brand that we were brewing, and when the distributor sold that out, the next day, it was a day, it just took one day. The next day we heard, "Can you send more?" And so we sent 5 times more. And then it was, "Can you send more?" And so then we sent 10 times more of that. And then it turned into, "You guys need to build a brewery." So we did.
Was that intentional, or did you say, "Let me just go ahead and slide in this pallet of beer, see if they say anything"?
No, it was actually, I don't want to say intentional. I don't want to say it was unintentional either. It was just kind of a, "Hey, we have some extra beer that we need to sell. Do you want it? If you don't want it, then we'll send it out into our local market." And It just kind of spiraled out of control to where now we have a brewery at its maximum capacity, a brand new brewery at its maximum capacity, and still, like, we need more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys got problems, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. The best kind of
And
problems.
the location is amazing too. Where you guys sitting there?
That
helps a lot.
That was pure luck. I mean, absolutely pure luck. That we inherited that place. That was another brewery. Yeah, we
do you take the quick turnaround in sales of your beer into heart when you create things? Because you can create beers that are more delicate that won't shelve long because you know they're going to turn over. or do you just do whatever feels right and be damned with the timing on the shelf?
We do what feels right.
Yeah.
Because I believe that I'm in a place where I know what people like, and I mean, I don't feel like we would like it if people didn't like it, you know. So, frankly, we're just really dedicated to this idea that there are some very simple core rules to follow when producing beer, and we follow them always relentlessly.
How much of your soul did you have to sell for hop contracts earlier on?
You're gonna love this. So, everybody, when we started, everybody loved Citra, everybody loved Simcoe, all of these hops that were hard to get. We could not get them. We couldn't give our souls away because it wasn't worth it. Our souls weren't worth enough for those hops. So we all have fairly good palates, so we decided that we would mimic the flavors with things that we found in food. And so we created Citra and Simcoe with a variety of zests and juices. And we made such small amounts of beer that they would sell so rapidly that nobody ever knew.
What?
Right?
Yeah.
Wait, have you ever told that to anybody else?
This is the first time I've admitted that.
Look, I gotta tell you, man, that says so much about you guys' skills as brewers because nobody. How many people have thought about mimicking a hop because they couldn't get it? For most people, if they can't get the hop, that's a deal breaker. You guys just went into the lab and said, well, we can't get this hop. We can't get this hop. Everybody wants it. Let's mimic it. Let's get some food items and create this hop flavor and nobody knew the difference. That's incredible.
Completely unheard of, yeah.
It's all we had no other options.
You know, right now there's a whole lot of small craft breweries headed to the grocery store. They're going to start emailing saying, what was that, some grapefruit rind and some, what was the juju there?
Whole Foods.
Whole Foods.
I mean, obviously you want the best stuff, but we would go to Whole Foods and just clean them out.
You wouldn't piss off the people. What was that woman that bought a bunch of Frankenberry cereal or something for?
Oh yeah, yes.
Somebody made a Frankenberry cereal beer.
They bought it all.
Yeah,
that's us and fruit.
That's awesome. You heard it here first, folks.
You did. What's coming next? I mean, where do you? You told us what's on tap there now, but what's in the tanks?
Right. Okay. At the big place, Citra Ass Down, the Brown Note, 35K, which is a milk stout. These are all beers that are going to cans. Oh, and Show Enough. I'm so glad I have an opportunity to talk about that. Show Enough is our if I could have a flagship beer, it would be this. I don't know how long we're going to do it because we only have so much packaging for it. But the reason I love it so much is because I can drink it all day long. We call it a low down golden ale. It's dry, it's biscuity, it's malty, it's effing amazing. And you can drink 6. And as a craft beer drinker, I love that. It's not for the faint of heart. I mean, it's a beer drinker's beer, and it's for drinking a lot. And we put it in a can, so I'm proud.
Show Enough.
Is that a play on The Last Dragon?
Show Enough. Who's the baddest?
Show Enough. We did an interview on a Savor Weekend with a brewery here in DC called Denizens, and they have this a sour it's an IPA
Gotcha.
they brew. No, an IPA they brew with Galaxy hops, and they soured it, and they called it Brett Leroy.
I love it.
And
that was an amazing name there.
Who's the baddest low down golden ale in this town?
Show Enough. My man.
Everybody to YouTube. The
Love
Whole
it.
Foods YouTube when you get home. All right. Hey, let's talk a little bit about some of the news this week. Let's start in the middle of our list and talk about PicoBrew Zymatic. I think how long ago was it? It was last fall, I think we had Annie Johnson, who was the
Just about a year
American,
ago.
Yeah, it was a year ago. Annie was the American Home Brewers Association's Brewer of the Year in 2013, and for a light lager of all great beers. And she now works for the Zymatic, which is the microwave of brewing. Have you seen this thing, Sam?
I have. It wasn't me, but my partner Adam actually did the CNET review.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We brewed Sit Your Ass Down in-house at the big brewery, Sit Your Ass Down on the Pico Zymatic, and then Sit Your Ass Down in the pub. And I would just buy it from us.
Yeah. Yeah. There are some limitations to it, right?
Check out the CNET review, and you'll see my partner Adam brewing on it. But it's super cool. Like, it's for a home brewer, it's like a robot that does everything. But doesn't that kind of defeat the purpose?
Yeah. That was what I was about to say. I think the whole idea of home brewing is not necessary. I mean, you're happy to make good beer, but I think for me at least is the time, the fun, the experience.
They
if I
just
want
need a robot to. Go ahead, Alan.
If I wanted something off the shelf, I just go to the brewery next door instead of pushing a button.
Yeah. I was gonna say, if there's a robot to do all my cleaning for me, I would totally buy that product. But I'm totally fine to know brew it myself.
That's what I got.
Yeah, a robot.
That's it.
Yeah.
If she was listening, she'd kill me.
But it is a product for some people. I mean, I mean, I think it's a valid product, and I think a lot of people are gonna enjoy it.
Yeah, if you live in a one-bedroom studio in Manhattan and you want to be able to brew beer, I mean they make some electrical setups that you could use, but I mean, regardless of convenience, the main point is how does the beer turn out? And based on the article that we saw, people were like, "It's okay, yeah, it's tastes like beer."
I'm just saying, I brewed all grain in a 450 square foot one-bedroom apartment. You can do it anywhere.
Yeah.
Well, and if you're going to spend $2,000 on this, it certainly is more compact than $2,000 worth of 3-tier, all the gravity, all the other equipment. You couldn't build a 5.5 or a 5-gallon system for
Move
that.
into a bigger apartment. Why would you spend $2,000 on a homebrew setup? Move into a bigger apartment and use buckets.
Yeah. we still love you, Annie.
Yeah, we do. And I still want to taste some beer off of the thing. I don't think it's bad beer. It's just maybe it's just not as flexible as what.
And that's also unfair for us to give our own opinion, since we're based on other people's opinion. I can't say by personal experience.
Right.
So let's go read CNET and then get one of these dang things. That's what we got to do.
Amen.
All right, Randy, talk to us. Lagunitas.
This article kind of sprung on me. I had no idea that Lagunitas was expanding, but we found this article from LAeater.com, and it looks like Lagunitas is going to be opening up a new brewery just east of LA in Azusa, California. The reason why they said that they chose that particular spot is that it's within easy freeway distance of several major metropolitan areas and comes complete with lots of light industrial zoning. And so the brewery is already under construction, but it's not going to be ready until 2017. Their brew system will offer a capacity of 420,000 barrels, but it could eventually grow to 1 million barrels. So they're definitely projecting to be one of the, I would say, I guess the top 5 breweries by volume in America. And the good thing about it, and I think they also did the same thing in Chicago, is that there's no city and state funding. So they're funding this themselves. And this particular one is, as I say, is within spitting distance of a large-scale Irwindale Miller brewery. So it's almost like a little bit of a, I don't want to say a slap in the face to Miller, but definitely a we ain't scared of you type thing, in my opinion. But the one thing I found interesting about this is that, like, why would you open up a second brewery in LA during a drought?
I was gonna say, hopefully.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Sure.
I want you all and everyone else in the world to look at what you're seeing. It's posturing. Okay, this is posturing of big business. To think that Lagunitas is a small brewery ever is a joke.
Well, no, not that they're small, but they're definitely not in the top. I don't think they're top 5 as far as volume goes.
Wait until you see another one open up, and another one, and another one.
Okay, well,
it's called posturing. I've been in this business for 10 years, and I've seen a lot of change, and I've never seen anything like this. The pricing, the breweries that are opening up in strategic places in the U.S. It's called posturing.
What do you think, Sam? Is there another revolt coming? Because I'm seeing things like Sam Adams is getting ready to get pulled from the craft label. You know, they're not going to consider them craft beer. Are the hipsters going to come out and say, you know what, you're not macro, but you're too big. I want to drink from the guy who has a barrel and a half system on the corner of my street.
Even if the hipsters did, it wouldn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah. What matters is the guys who are going into the grocery store to buy the beer. And our bulk buyers in our big box stores throughout the world, you know, Costco, Walmart, Kroger's, Jewel, LCBO in Canada. I mean, there are a world of places that are buying beers. It's what we're seeing, though, is the next generation of big brewers. It's okay, though. It's the world we live in. The wonderful thing is that even though Lagunitas is a great big giant, and so is Sam Adams, they're still producing good beer.
So you think people are too? Do you think people are too attached to size? Do you think a lot of consumers are too attached to size?
I'm sorry, what's it?
So do you think that a lot of the craft beer drinkers are too attached to size and semantics and stuff like that? Do you think that is on the way?
I think that's something that they're going to have to get over. But on the whole, I think the reality is we're going to see a new wave of new brands. And what the consumer, the buyers are going to have to look at is what's authentic and who is authentic. And, you know, it's the world we live in. Let's not be, I guess, blinded by all the nonsense that we've heard over the last few years about it being, you know, kumbaya. Everyone loves each other, even though we all do fairly. We're drunk most of the time, so we do love each other. This is business, and if you didn't come to play, you're not going to make it.
So let's hope that size doesn't matter, and everybody just wants beer with a skid-marked pair of underpants on it.
Yes, that's exactly what I think is going to happen. I just rolled the dice.
Well, they're trying to push a legislation now that with tax cuts for sizes. Like I was reading somewhere this week, and I wonder how that's going to influence people's eagerness to get off of that taxation, or if it's going to matter at all.
I mean, ultimately, I own a brewery, and we're in multi-states. It doesn't make that much of a difference when you're doing so well. So the tax cuts are great. They're going to help you do other things later. But as far as it goes, America's a great market. You can do anything here.
Yeah.
And so right now we're seeing posturing. Everybody, including us. We built a bigger brewery because we had demand, not because we wanted to take a shot and lose our houses. It's about that. So it's cool though, because you see guys like myself, man, 5 years ago I had nothing. And now I have a brewery and I'm selling beer in 35 states in Western Europe. And I get to meet guys like you that are passionate and that share my passion. And that's pretty awesome.
Absolutely. Who would have thunk?
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
You're a rock star.
You weren't sure. Yeah.
A rock star. Yeah. Yeah, tell my wife that.
Well, she's not talking to you after the cleaning acts. She's not talking to you after the cleaning comments. So.
Right.
That is my hobby, and you do the thing I love in the best way. So
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about some new releases that are coming out here. Hangar 24, which we don't talk enough about them. Maybe we need to get them on the show. I've had some of their stuff up in D.C., but they don't distribute here in Virginia. So they've got Barrel Roll First Crush. It's a blend of the brewery's stock of Sarah wine barrel that contains a red sour ale. It's it's big 750s at $20 a bottle. That's coming out here tomorrow. They've also got the Barrel Roll Sanguinello. It's a sour ale with locally sourced blood oranges aged in some more wine barrels. That's a smaller bottle, and that comes out tomorrow as well, too. Do you guys get Hangar 24 in the middle of the country? You get that there in Kentucky?
We do not, no. But I've heard about them.
Yeah.
So they're a myth to me.
They're a myth. What's their Randy, what's the one that's all over the place there in D.C. from them? It's a brown.
I didn't know that there was a Hangar 24 beer that was all over D.C.
Yeah, well, it seemed like when we were up there 2 years ago, it was in all the beer bars because, D.C. is the wild,
something
wild
with
west.
orange. Yeah, I remember. There's something with orange.
Is there a IPA or no?
Yeah. Alan is he took a break from talking about New Belgium tonight since he's sitting next to Sam from Against the Grain, but New Belgium's got Eric's Ale, a wood-aged sour peach ale. How is it, Alan? Have you had it?
Actually, I have not, but that's the one bottle I tried to track down in 2010 for, it must have been like 6, 7, 8 months, and I found a shop. And when I got to the shop, they're like, we just sold our last bottle, and I was like,
Yeah. Blue Jacket in D.C.'s got The Jam, Berliner Weiss brewed with strawberries and rhubarb. That came out last week, so from those guys, that's probably gone now. I think they've pretty small capacity and really good beer. DC Brow, we talked about this one a few weeks ago when I saw the can packaging. They've got Solar Abyss. It's a double IPA brewed only with Mosaic. Limited draft. So I guess they can get it. They're not mimicking it. They're getting it. So it's limited to draft and 6-pack cans. Brewery only. It's a 10% DIPA. That comes out on Sunday. Stone, which is they are the theme on our Friday night hangout here in about 20 minutes. Stone has got Ruin 10. It's a triple IPA with 5 pounds of hops in each barrel. It's an 11%, 110 IBU beast of a beer. That's coming out on Monday the 29th. And the next thing you guys are packaging and shipping, Sam, is what?
Show Enough.
Show Enough, and that's coming out to all your markets?
It's a low-down golden ale. You can look for in the next month Hofo Pils, which is a classic German Pilsner. It's probably the best Pilsner ever.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
In the markets within the next few days, you should see Sit Your Ass Down in can format. You should also see the brown note in can format. Those are all 16-ounce tall boys. And then at the end of the year, you're going to see 35K, which is a milk stout, tall boy, and Common Noodling, which is a Kentucky Common.
Sam,
go ahead, Randy.
Is brown note it's a brown ale, but did you guys do anything else to it?
No, it's just a brown ale, the best one ever.
Oh.
With no fecal matter. There's no fecal matter in that beer.
No. You know the whole reason. Oh my, the whole reason why we did the brown note and we did that label was so that people would be, I guess, so offended and so, I guess, just confused, and when they drink it would say, why would they put this label on this beer? It's amazing, because it's a very easy to drink brown ale, and it just made sense to us to push the boundaries of attitude, and then to come back with, look at this fine brown ale that we marred with a label, just kind of gets confused people.
Put them on their heels and then bring them back in with a solid beer, huh?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Just as a tip, if you're out there getting Show Enough, get 2 6-packs of it, because you need a 2-day supply.
There you go.
You can drink a 6 of them in one day. Yeah.
I don't think anyone's going to regret buying 2, ever.
Are you guys in Virginia? I mean, like for full, like all of your beers, or just like limited releases in Virginia?
Very limited right now. As we ramp up, then more will happen.
Okay.
We're just, like I said, we just hit a stride, and we need to bring in a couple more fermenters and bright tanks, and then we'll be able to turn and burn and cover this side of the United States a little bit better.
Yeah,
I can send you $20. That's all I can. I could put something on it, man.
That'll buy a fitting for one of the lines. So yeah, I actually, now that we've talked about it, I remember having Citra Ash down on tap at a Whole Foods at one point somewhere up in Richmond. So they are here in some capacity.
So what's the you made a heavier version of the 35K? Was it 45? Was that
70K?
70. Yeah, that's it. And that beer was so good.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, we're very proud of it.
That was amazing.
It's been very popular in our market.
Festivals-wise, we've got the North Carolina Brewers Celebration in Charlotte. That's tomorrow, the 27th. LA Beer Week is wrapping up this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Look for events if you're in LA. Brew at the Zoo, which is a fun event this time of year. I think Victoria just had one in Tucson there. Was it the Phoenix Zoo or the Tucson Zoo? It was somewhere out there where she lives. This one is at West Orange, New Jersey, tomorrow, Saturday. Lansing, Michigan's Beer Week is ending tomorrow, so get out and hit the festivals if you haven't yet. Stone's Sour Fest 2015 in Escondido is Sunday this weekend. And Red, White, and Brew in South Florida, their craft beer celebration is in Miami the 4th and 5th. So it's that next Friday and Saturday.
Yep.
What about beer festivals? Where are you going to when you leave South Carolina, Sam?
Let's see. Go back home.
All right.
I'll be in Kentucky for a little bit. I've got work to do. And then I'll be up in Chicago for the Windy City Smokehouse in mid-July. And then after that, where do I go? Oh, we have Forecastle. I'm not going anywhere. We have a music festival in Louisville, and I will be at Forecastle all weekend. My company sponsors it also, so it's cool. Yeah, my morning jacket.
When is that, Sam?
When
is Forecastle?
Mid-July, 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. If you're looking to stock them, just follow Sam around. You've got the dates and where he's going to be now. So.
Yeah. And Sam, we hope we can see you next year at Savor, man.
I want to get out there. It interferes with other things.
Yeah, because you were leaving Toronto, I think, when I don't stalk you on social media or anything. Like I don't. I'm just saying. But I think you were leaving Toronto when Savor was starting this year, right?
Yeah. My company works very closely with the government in Kentucky to help promote the growth of businesses like ours. And so we were up in Canada determining the feasibility of exporting Kentucky beer up there. So it was really cool. We were invited by the governor, and we traveled around with the governor, and I wore a suit most of the time, which is misery. I did not want to be one of those guys. But I did it. But it's cool. They actually, those are a lot of the representatives, the United States to Canada, and then from Canada to the U.S. drink really great beer most of the time. So we all got along really well.
That's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I think we're going to wrap the show here now. It took all this time for me to realize Alan's got his Beer Camp 118 t-shirt on, so that's pretty awesome. I figured I'd throw that in. Grandma's Closet, Little Cedar IPA.
Yep.
Yeah, we drank that last summer. But we're going to wrap things up. Sam, man, thank you so much. Keep making the good stuff. We would like to see a little more of it here in Virginia, just saying. So I don't want to have to drive to Kentucky for a case of Show Enough, but I will if I have to. But keep making the good stuff, and we'll keep drinking it. Looking forward to some of the new releases. Until next week, everybody, thanks for tuning in. Next week's guest is not on the top of my brain, so you'll have to watch for the event come Monday. Follow us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Google Plus is where our community is. So tune in. Until next week, everybody, find some good friends, find some great beer, and mind those P's and Q's.
Brought to you by Craft Beer Nation. You can show your support for our podcast by subscribing to our content on YouTube, Stitcher, iTunes, or our website, craftbeernation.org. Thanks for listening.